Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that 40-ish and $100 range. Most of these, way less than that. A good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. All 5 of these are rack store finds. Now, if you watch my channel or a number of other fragrance review channels that specialize in these cheap ones, rack store fragrances, you are not a stranger to Murata, Milestone, Kamara, all those RVL brands. You're not a stranger to them. Or if you just go to the rack stores all the time, you see these here all the time. So I'm going to talk about 5 of them that whether you're in this thing or not, you might not know about because nobody's talking about them, and or you just don't pick up the bottle because it's kind of ugly looking. But they are, no doubt about it, these are worth at least taking a look at. So let's go ahead and kickstart things off with Hunter Night. This one has a touch of sweet fruit mixed with a spicy currant, little bit of earthy, fresh greenness going on. Really easy, fresh, somewhat rich, green kind of a fragrance. Almost leans a little bit in the blue direction, but not 100%. They all have this really good atomizer. This cap is super cheesy and light. But yeah, there's something about that spicy citrus black currant in this thing that really sets this off. When I first smelled it, I knew that I had to pick it up. It's only $15 at Marshall's, if I can get that to focus a little bit better. $15 at Marshall's. Picked it up. Performance isn't, it was never all that good. It was like maybe a 2-hour fragrance. Since it has sat for a good amount of time, it's turned into maybe a 3 or 4-hour fragrance, but regardless, it's $15. It's a great, just go ahead and spray something on and run your errands type of a fragrance. Almost will work in the gym because it's light enough. But yeah, if you're looking for a touch of sweetness mixed with that spicy currant and earthy fresh green fragrance, might want to check this one out. Up next, again, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on each one of these. I'm just kind of like putting them out there real fast. And if you hear a lot of rain and stuff like that, it's because I literally have a hurricane outside right now. So I'm trying to do this before the power might get knocked out. So yeah, Bandit, Homme. I saw this once and I never really seen it again. It's done by the House of Emperor. It's actually on Fragrantica. And quickly what this is a spicy, dusty, sweet vanilla. When I sprayed it, I was immediately reminded of something I couldn't put my finger on. I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I was like, it's sweet. It's vanilla. What's sweet and vanilla? Well, arrows kind of, but more to me, it was more like the original Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. And then I got to thinking about it this morning. And honestly, what it smells like to me more, which also smells like Jean Paul, is Cristiano Ronaldo's CR7. I think this smells more like this, or whichever one came out first. I didn't research that. But that's what this is. It's a cool weather. It's a light cool weather fragrance, so it's not real heavy and rich, but it's sweet enough and it's got that thick powdery thing going on, so it's more for the cool weather, daytime or evening. It's very youthful, a little bit synthetic because it has that cinnamon, and a lot of times the cheap inexpensive fragrances, I think, have a hard time making a cinnamon spicy accord that is not abrasive or inoffensive, because cinnamon's a very hot, spicy note. So when you're trying to use inexpensive oils, it might be a little bit harder to make it more natural. Not saying it's terrible, just saying it is synthetic. But regardless, for $15 to have a fragrance that's, you know, in the ballpark of Le Male, it's pretty nice. And it's different than like Cuba Gold. Like I said, it's more like CR7. Just go ahead and bust the cap off this thing and smell it if you see it. You might like it. Up next, one that I just did a short on, and I think it's universally concluded that nobody knows what the heck this thing is cloning, because we kind of think it's its own thing, because it smells like a mix of different things, but not 100%. And this is done by Murata. Dress code for Homme. Basically, this is a spicy, citrus, earthy, musky, balsamic kind of a fragrance. Very old school classics, fits in the same ballpark as like Drakkar, Halston Z14, Polo Green, you know, those kind of things. That's what this fits in the category of. It's a little bit woody. Cap is really strong on this one. Really strong atomizer too. Yeah, it's an invigorating, citrusy, heavy, spicy, balsamic green, almost like a coniferous kind of a thing. Really, really, really nice, classy, a little bit rich, super inexpensive. $12.99. If you see this one, just pull the trigger on it, and by trigger I mean the atomizer trigger, and let it sit on your skin, because it does change. At first it seems like it's just a fresh fragrance, like, oh, it's just a citrus freshie. Let that thing sit for 15 or 20 minutes. That's what I did, and I got to driving down the road and I was like, man, I hope that thing is still there. And it wasn't, but it was a few weeks later, so I hopped on it without hesitation. And the performance on this one is actually pretty good. It's like a 5-hour fragrance, and it projects pretty good for like the first 2 or 3 hours, so that's another plus on this one. Just check this one out if you see it. Up next, one that I saw at the rack store. I've seen it many times. I just never bought it because it was always in one of those plastic cases. And humans like me, if you don't know what it smells like, if it's got a really cool bottle design, you're more apt to purchase the thing. If it has a really weird, kind of ugly, gaudy, you're going to be like, all right, well, the bottle's ugly, fragrance is ugly, right? Well, not so with the case of this one. And that is Murata's Black Shield. And this one is a little bit fruity. It has a load of sour, bright citrus. A hearty dose of that currant again. A lot of these are using that currant. And a florally touch, a little bit woody, but it's very fresh. Very fresh fragrance. It's similar to that Hunter Night, but this one is fresher. It's juicier, fresher, lighter. It's almost got an aquatic touch just because it's so juicy on the citrus. They're the sour citruses, juicy with a touch of sweetness. I think I saw that there is pineapple in here and maybe some apple, but I don't like detect like pineapple for sure. I just get like a little bit, just a little touch glazing, like a touch of sweet fruitiness glazing over the spicy citrus black currant combination with a decent dose of that rose. There's a good dose of rose. I think there's also some jasmine in this one. I'm gonna smell it again. I like this thing. Yeah, and there's like an ambroxan feel in this. So this one was also another ultra cheapie. $12.99. I don't know what it's cloning. It's not some kind of groundbreaking, mold-breaking new fragrance, but I think it's a mixture of other popular fragrances altogether, like your Dylan Blues and stuff like that, because this is kind of in a blue category. This is more of a blue than a black fragrance, 100%. Very versatile, works almost anytime, anywhere, just not like really cold. Other than that, check this one out. It's super inoffensive. Like I said, it's not ultra unique. It's not that unique, but it's very easy, office friendly, safe. Not that strong, 3 or 4 hour fragrance, but that's most of these real cheap Muratas. So good smelling fragrance nonetheless. Up next, one that I've had for the longest out of all of these, and I've wore this thing several times. You can tell by the juice level. It's not like the most groundbreaking fragrance, but for whatever reason, I just kept on reaching for this thing. Just kept on reaching for it. And that's Murata's Surf Pour Homme. And this one is a powdery, lemon, green, musky, citrus kind of a fragrance. There is something about this thing. Kind of has that La Nuit kind of. This is the only one that doesn't have that atomizer. Kind of has like a La Nuit type thing, F Black kind of thing, kind of. I don't think it's cloning those, but again, it's mostly like a powdery lemon, like that powdery lemon citrus kind of a thing with a little bit of that clean musk. This thing right here, I mean, I don't know if you can see the juice level. Yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, it's green and it's musky. They say it's got aquatic notes. I don't get so much of that, but I do get the rich powdery lemon green musky thing that's going on in this. It's a little bit above an average scent profile, but it's so easygoing and just like different that I just kept reaching for it. And some people complain that it doesn't last very long. On me, I think this is the EDT. I don't even think I have the Eau de Parfum. Yeah, I got the Eau de Toilette. And I'm telling you, I sprayed it on before work and I could clearly smell it pumping, like not like radiating, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I would just get a whiff of it here and there after lunch. So for a fragrance like this, it was $14.99 when I got it. And that was when I first got it. So I bet it's probably even a little bit stronger now. I haven't wore it in a while, but yeah, it was performing pretty good. I couldn't believe it. Maybe it's just one of those notes that I don't go nose blind to after a short amount of time or something. So yeah, Murata Surf Pour Homme, definitely worth checking out. If you like stuff like La Nuit de l'Homme, F Black, if you like those kind of a scent profiles, then just check this one out because it's right in that wheelhouse. So just a quick run through of 5 RVL brand fragrances that I just never heard get any hype or love, that I think really deserved it. And maybe it's because they're not directly cloning anything. I don't think any of these are a direct clone of anything, and maybe that's why, because it's not Tom Ford, it's not Dolce & Gabbana, it's not Louis Vuitton or something. So regardless, good smelling fragrances, and that's my final thought on 5 RVL fragrances that deserve more love. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.